we're live. It's always fun watching to see when the connection hits.
It's a moment of anticipation for sure.
It is. It is. Cousin, so nice to see you this holiday week. I'm very excited for our big Thanksgiving week coming up. It's a big, big holiday in the etiquette world.
Absolutely. So good to be here celebrating with you and the awesome etiquette audience.
Absolutely. But this Friday, we have a non-Thanksgiving question for our audience to do as our Substack Live. And I'm looking forward to getting to it. You ready? You ready for me to read this one to you?
Let's hear it.
All right. It's titled Dumbfounded Den Mom. Hi, awesome etiquette. I live in New York City and have unfortunately seen too many examples of common courtesy going unused in my city's transit system. Commonly, young people, while engrossed in their phones, neglect to notice much older adults or someone with a cane standing near them on a bus. Normally, I can politely alert the young passengers to the situation, and they are more than happy to offer their place on the bus. However, as family sizes get smaller, intergenerational living becomes less common. That combined with device distractions, it's possible that some young people were simply never introduced to the social customs of mass transit riding. In the interest of comfortable rides for all passengers now and in the future, I've decided to lead a discussion with my son's Cub Scout pack on the topic of etiquette and civility. I would like to highlight the importance of taking one's trash with you until you reach a receptacle, keeping noise to a respectable volume, letting people off before you enter a subway car or bus, and of course, offering your seat to someone that might need it. Do you have any activity suggestions or tips that might make these or other lesson recommendations that you might have engaging for children? Warm regards, Dumbfounded Den Mom. Dan, I am just immediately thinking of our Emily Post Etiquette Train the Trainer children's program, just because, like, this is exactly that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And it is so critically important. It is a generational task for the adult community to initiate children, the next generation, on the roles and responsibilities that they will play as adults, taking care of our collective community. And sometimes that's about care for the young and the old. Sometimes it's just about playing your role in public places in an appropriate way, a way that sets other people up for a sense of ease and comfort and quality in their life as well. And this is a collective task. It's a generational task, and I love the way our dumbfounded den mom is approaching it. She's thinking about it as, what can I do and how can I engage children? And one of our first rules around this is that it's important that you model this behavior, that you adopt and display and demonstrate the behaviors that you want to be teaching to that next generation. That's your first role and responsibility, and we all have some version of that we're responsible for. So I always like to start there. When you bring up our children's etiquette program, it also makes me think about an ages and stages approach to teaching social skills, that it's really about meeting children where they're at in their social development. And for younger children, they're not abstract thinkers. They're not going to deal well with a lot of concept discussion. What they respond really well to are situations and scenarios and play acting and role playing, where you make concrete the ideas that you're wanting to teach them. You put them in situations and develop examples for them where they can see how it plays out and practice those behaviors, so that when they find themselves in those public places, it's a familiar behavior, it's a familiar action, and they have some sense of what the response from the other people is going to be as well. They can anticipate that. Kids do so well when they have some idea of the role they're supposed to play and they know what to do, and then they get the positive response.
I was thinking about one of our children's trainers, Hayden Wilson, who really wants to frame manners as not a punishment. So it's not a, oh, I see the bad manner, let me correct it now. It's let's talk about what the good manner is and practice doing that. I am thinking that with a Cub Scout group, we could definitely identify, even if it's just one or two manners, that we could then go out into the community and actually express those manners and practice doing them intentionally. So it might be a group activity that we go to a store and we offer to hold the door for all the customers. We might not even be frequenting the store. We, of course, let the store manager know what we're up to as a group standing outside, but that we want to say we'd love to practice holding doors for people. Gonzalo! Sorry, Gonzalo just joined. I'm so happy to see him. I hope newlywed bliss is just wonderful, Gonzalo. I loved your wedding pictures.
Congratulations.
Sorry, this was such a big for me. I like one of my favorite listeners. Um, Also a big Swiftie, so there's that connection. Back to the question. So obviously we would speak to the store manager and make sure that it was okay for us as a group to come and practice holding the door or something like that. But we could also do smaller excursions where we might get on that bus and we might practice waiting to let everyone who is getting off the bus before we go to make our attempt to get on. Or we get on the bus and take a short ride to wherever we're headed and we look for opportunities to offer our seat to somebody else. So it might be about actively saying, okay, guys, we're on the bus. Do you see anybody who has a lot of packages? Maybe a baby stroller. Maybe they have a mobility device that is helping them to be able to walk or to move around. Is there a way we could offer our seat to that person if they're standing and we are seated? And so I think some actionable, literally it's not even role playing because you're doing it in the moment. Excursions for a group like this would be a great idea. I could also think of things like creating a little worksheet or a gold star chart that has some of these different behaviors. Like I took the bus and I used my headphones rather than had anything play out of my device. Or I set a timer on my device so that every 3 minutes I look up to see if anyone might need my seat, or at every stop I look to see who got on and to see who might need my seat. And then I get a gold star on my little activity chart whenever I've done something like that. I'm a big fan of the sticker reward system. I still use it as a 43-year-old adult today. Like I am big into this. But for Den Mom, I think that this would be, or Dumbfounded Den Mom, I think that this would be a great way to actively engage the kids rather than having it be those moments of, oh, don't do that. But this is really on all of us in our communities when we're with kids that are in our care or kids that we are educating to talk with them about these sorts of public behaviors and the way that we participate in them. Different for a 3-year-old than it's going to be for an 8 or 10-year-old, of course. But I think it's important to be, as Dan said, demonstrating them for other people. I know I've been wearing a Aircast boot for a couple weeks now. And okay, a couple weeks, it's been like 6 weeks now. And I have been a little dumbfounded myself, dumbfounded Den Mom, about how many people don't notice as I'm like limping around that it might be nice to let this person go through the door and not rush them or something like that. And it really is one of those things that when you do have a mobility issue, I think you start to notice more whether other people notice it or not. And that's been something temporary in my life, but it's been an interesting social experiment, those trips to the grocery store lately. Who rushes you to get across the parking lot, and who waits patiently or, offers to let you out of the store first before they go in. It's interesting when you start having a moment like that.
I am thinking about your sticker system.
Yeah.
And what really resonates with me about that is the reward. That it's about praising and honoring and acknowledging the good behavior. And kids respond so well to that. And
Yeah.
every opportunity you have to applaud and point out and make specific your praise around really good or admirable behavior, you're accomplishing a great, great deal. You can also come in a side door by acknowledging or praising good behavior that you're witnessing that they might not
Yes.
participate in. But if you notice something that's excellent and you point it out, it can be another way to draw a child or a younger person into a world of seeking that reward and getting that positive affirmation and feeling good about being a good and decent person. And that's really what we want to get to. We want to get to a place where it's its own reward and the satisfaction comes from the good that we're doing and participating in, not just some idea of what's expected of us.
I love that so much. And it does feel so good. I know I'm a big fan of stepping aside when someone's coming out of the grocery store doors, even though they're wide enough for two people to pass through. I am amazed at how many people notice when I do it and then say, "Oh, thank you." Or say, "My pleasure." And you walk right through. And it has that good positive community reward kind of good spirit feeling to it. And getting that to be the incentive rather than I was told to. My mom said I had to is such a good, not that it's not good to do what your mom said, you know what I mean? But it's such a deeply fulfilling part of it. Yeah.
I didn't know how much I missed it
Yeah.
during the social distancing phase of the pandemic until we were re-engaging in public spaces and I rediscovered that experience of a positive social interaction with a complete stranger around some passing interaction and
Yeah.
the satisfaction that it gave, the feeling of return to normalcy was just so palpable. It was such a clear illustration of how important that is to our social functioning and how deeply fulfilling and rewarding it is to be part of a community where you're connected to people, even strangers.
Final thought for dumbfounded den mom who's thinking about putting this into practice with the Cub Scout group would be to definitely go for the letting people off or out before you get on or enter. I would say going for the not allowing your devices to create noise or make you so distracted that you miss out on what's happening right in front of you.
Good one.
I would say holding doors when possible, letting someone go ahead of you, even if it's not in an entrance exit style, and paying attention to whether or not you could offer your seat to someone would be a handful of exercises to start really helping kids understand how to participate well in public spaces. And I just love that Dumbfounded Dem Mom is going to go after this. I think it is a great lesson. What an awesome Cub Scout project. Thank you so much for being someone out in the world participating in this way. You're really helping to
Dude,
strengthen our communities.
send us some feedback. Let us know how it goes. We're so curious.
Dan, I love getting to see you, but I know we've got the rest of the show to record. Do you think we should get to it?
Let's do it.
Bye,
See
guys.
ya.
Bye, Gonzalo.